outside to see you. Shall I ask them to come later?
There won't be any later, Jeanette. Who is it?
She says her name is Tanaz Patel from India.
Tanaz Patel. Okay, send her in.
Okay.
Oven?
Hi, come in.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Very good.
Please, sit down.
Thank you.
Can I get you something?
No, that's fine. Actually, I've just come from Ottawa and I'm on my way to Delhi, so I decided to come by here for a day.
Oh, you're flying back to India tonight?
Well, tomorrow morning.
I just might be on the same flight.
Is that so? Well, it'd be nice to have some company.
So, what can I do for you?
Actually, I really don't know why I'm here. Forget it. It was a silly idea in the first place.
No, not at all. Considering my current position, you couldn't have come at a better time.
You're busy.
I've never been less busy. So, how is your husband?
Ashok. Well, I was hoping to come here and talk to you about him, actually, if you had some time.
Of course I do. But I should warn you up front. I don't do divorce cases.
Well, I hope it doesn't come to that. But sometimes I certainly think it's getting there.
Marital problems?
Not exactly. Let me see, how should I put this? I suppose it has something to do with criminal suspicions.
You're involved in a criminal matter then?
No. But I think my husband is. And I think you and your 5 friends at MII have something to do with it.
Coming.
Hi. Shama. So good to see you, Nalini. Good to see you too. Come from Hong Kong? Straight from Sahar Airport. So, am I welcome to stay here or do you want me to check into a hotel now? Don't be ridiculous. You know you could stay here.
Anyway, I'm alone in the flat.
Why? Isn't Ravi back yet?
No, he was supposed to come back last week.
I know because you spoke to him before I left for Hong Kong. So what happened?
The usual.
What do you mean? He just didn't turn up.
That's nothing new.
Nalini, he's your husband for God's sake. He's got to come home at some time.
Yeah, but he got another contract with this ship that's going to Indonesia or someplace.
For how long?
4 months.
So that makes it what?
That makes it a year.
But why?
I don't know. I guess he just doesn't want to come home.
Nalini, that's terrible.
Yeah, but that's Indian men. Well, some of them anyway. But you know something? I'm so glad you came.
I told you I would. But I'm not going to pretend that you were the only reason I came back.
I know. Natasha is going to be very happy to see you.
Has she been asking for me?
Oh, many times. But she's afraid that you might go back again and not come back for yet another 5 years.
Nalini, that's something I'd never do again. You know that.
Anyway, how was your meeting with your superiors in the company?
Oh well, as expected, I had to resign.
Oh God, no.
But no one's to blame really because the company is right in the middle of the merger and they're doing a lot of major corporate restructuring, you see. So if I wasn't around to be counted for, then I can't expect them to keep a chair for me.
That means you're without a job now.
Yes, and that's exactly how I like it.
But then how are you going to manage?
Well, when I was with the company, I negotiated for some stock options. And after the merger, they fetched me quite a tidy sum, so that's not a problem.
That's good.
I'm planning to buy a flat actually, so that when I get custody of Natasha,
If you get custody of Natasha.
when I get custody of Natasha, and I want to be able to provide for her the way she's accustomed to.
Yeah, but flats are quite expensive, nowadays. I mean, because of all these NRIs coming from Hong Kong and Singapore, they're paying quite a high price for flats in good areas.
Well, honey, what do you think I am?
I forgot you're an NRI too.
Well, I'm not filthy rich or anything, but I'm sure I can afford a decent place in Bombay, don't you think?
Property is a good investment anyway.
So is friendship.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm really lucky to have a few good friends left in this city.
I'm not just your friend, I'm your sister-in-law.
Ex-sister-in-law, and thank God for that.
Why? Didn't you like me when I was your sister-in-law?
I just didn't like your brother as a husband.
But you'll have to see him whether you like it or not.
Why should I?
Because you'll have to convince him to give you custody of Natasha.
I'm not even going to go within smelling distance of that skunk.
So then how are you going to get Natasha?
Isn't it obvious?
I don't understand.
Well, it's not something I really want to do, but it's the only way I can get legal custody of Natasha.
And what is this only way?
I'm going to take him to court.
You mean a custody case?
Yes. What's wrong? What's wrong with taking Dilip to court?
No, nothing.
I can see it on your face, Nalini. What's wrong with taking Dilip to court to win custody of my daughter?
It's just that, all these mistakes that you've made in the past, the way you abandoned Natasha.
Okay, I admit that.
Yeah, and if you go to court for her custody, I think you'll lose. And what's most important is that Dilip knows you'll lose. And he told me that he wants you to go to court.
Nobody here, you dope. Shama should really learn how to lock up when she leaves.
That's very good coffee. Not like this instant stuff. You forgot to check the bathroom. You see, I had to answer an urgent call of nature. I hope you don't mind. Actually, I have made a cup of coffee for myself, I've been waiting for you for quite a long time.
Take another step and I'll blow your head off. You're the son of a bitch who put the bomb in the fireplace. And who shot Aakash through the window, right?
Well, actually, you see...
And then you came to the hospital masquerading as a cop. You grilled me and my friends, and then tried to finish what you couldn't do at the guest house.
The intention was never to kill any one of you.
Shut up! We couldn't figure out who you were and why you were trying to kill us. Until we found out that my dear, dear brother was the one who hired you.
That much is correct.
So now you're back. You probably thought you'd wait here for me and then blow me away.
Mr. Prithvi, if I wanted to kill you, you would have been dead by now.
Only this time I came prepared for you.
Yeah, I can see that. Nice gun.
And just as your bad luck would have it, I'm in a really, really lousy mood. So I'm not going to inform the police that you're here. I'm going to take care of you by myself. Right here and now. You had a taste of my coffee, butthead. Now get a taste of this bullet.
Tea. You're a lifesaver. Just a few days in Hong Kong and I was already beginning to miss India.
What's there to miss?
Indian chai for starters.
Besides that,
You want me to start telling you all the things we NRIs miss when we're abroad? Do you have a week to listen?
get serious.
I am serious.
But Hong Kong is such a big and beautiful city and so modern and sophisticated and clean and whatever else.
That it is, Nalini, but so is Bombay.
Yeah, but Hong Kong is so much better, don't you think?
If you're from here, then there's nothing quite like good old Amchi Mumbai.
Because of sentimental reasons?
Because of this. Khari biscuits. Where else in the world would you get khari biscuit, Nalini?
Yeah, but you get so many nicer things there.
But after a while, you realize in life that there are just three things that are really important. One is good food, then someone to care about you, and a good job that you really enjoy doing.
And do you have all three?
Food, yes. There are so many new restaurants in Bombay which I'm just dying to check out.
What about someone you love?
Well, I'm working on that.
Oh.
I mean, Natasha, you silly woman.
Well, a child's love is not what you really meant, was it?
Well, it's better than nothing, right?
I suppose so.
What about you and Ravi? Haven't you thought of having kids yet?
Thought? I've thought of it every single day for the last 10 years that we've been married. But if I have a husband around, then I think of having a child, right?
You mean you and Ravi having...
And of course he insisted that I should be a full-time housewife. It was a condition to marry, as a result of which I've never really had a full career.
That's the worst part.
I thought, all right, after all, I am from a traditional background. But I do have a double MA.
You have a double MA? Nalini, you never told me that.
What's there to tell? The degree's been lying in a suitcase on a loft ever since I got married.
Didn't you ever want to take up a job of any kind?
Of course I did. I always wondered what it'd be like to work in an office full of people to talk to. It's so boring and so lonely sitting here all day watching TV and waiting for Ravi to call from the ship.
You should get a job there.
Ravi won't like it. He'd get angry with me even if I talked about it.
That sounds so much like Dilip when I was married to him.
Dilip was the one who chose Ravi for me.
And so he chose a husband for you who was as chauvinistic as he.
Makes sense. You know, that's why I supported you so much when you and Dilip used to fight. I really used to admire you for your courage, to stand up for your rights.
I understand. But you know, Nalini, you can fight too. All you have to do is realize that it's your life. Not your husband's, not your brother's, nobody's. Just yours.
Yeah. My life.
To do with it as you please. As you please. And you can empower yourself to do anything you want with your life, Nalini, and you must. Why are you looking at me like that?
I want to listen to you, Shama. I want to believe in you.
But
But while you're saying this, you aren't any happier than I am, are you?
oh, you mean that my marriage to Dilip broke up, and that I walked out on my baby daughter for nearly 5 years, and that I've lost my job, and that I have this heap of problems. But you can't give up.
I'm not giving up.
But you're not fighting either, Nalini. That's just the same as giving up.
Shama, I can't be like you.
I know what you're afraid of.
What?
You're scared to make mistakes. You're afraid to go wrong. But that's inevitable. Because like a million other Indian women who go through the same rite of emancipation, they're bound to be teething problems. You have to realize that there's a life beyond just being a housewife.
Yeah, suppose you're right. Maybe I should try, acting like a Aaj ki nari, right?
That's my girl.
Shama, thanks so much for talking to me.
That's me. I'm just great at shooting my mouth off about other people's problems. And I can never seem to manage my own.
You're sad about Natasha, right?
Yes. Here I am speechifying like Camilla Paglia, and I can't even get one evening to spend with my daughter. What are you thinking about?
What I'm thinking is, would you like to spend some time with Natasha?
Would I? Of course.
Alright, in that case, Dilip and Sheila are going to Bangalore on a business trip. And they're leaving Natasha here with me. They were supposed to leave her with Sheila's mother, but she's not particularly fond of children. And Dilip thinks that you're still in Hong Kong.
So he won't mind leaving her here with you?
No?
And how many days will they be gone?
3, maybe 4?
Nalini, you're a real lifesaver.
Even killing somebody is a real talent, Mr. Prithvi.
Is that what you call cold-blooded murder? Talent?
It's a simple art, actually. But you know what the problem is? The simpler it gets, the more difficult it gets to perform.
Perform? There's nothing about killing somebody that's about art or talent. It's just cold-blooded murder. And I'm no murderer.
Then why don't you leave it to the professionals, Mr. Prithvi? What was that for?
That was for the hospital, remember? Just because I don't want your filthy blood on my hands doesn't mean I'm not gonna bash your head in.
Strange logic.
Strange times we live in, Ranade, remember? You had a lot of questions for us back at the hospital. Now it's my turn to quiz you. What do you know about Jonathan Parker?
And the first correct answer wins a luxury car, and the second correct answer gets 2 kilos of gold.
What the hell do you know about Jonathan Parker?
I know a lot more than you do.
If you want this hand back in one piece, you better start talking to me.
I know how Jonathan Parker died. I know that you and your 4 friends were involved in his death. And I know something more.
And who told you all this? Piyush?
Piyush doesn't know all this. He's just a mouthpiece for the real man.
And who is this real man?
Ashok Mathur.
Ashok Mathur. Why does his name keep cropping up?
Because he's the one who wants all of you killed, not Piyush.
Why should I believe you? You're nothing but a hired contract killer.
Then why don't you stop asking me all these stupid questions?
Then what you're telling me is that Ashok Mathur is the one pulling Piyush's strings.
Like a Katputli.
Why? Why would Ashok Mathur do all this?
I don't know.
You seem to know about everything else. How come you don't know about this?
Because I don't deal with Ashok Mathur directly, you see. I only deal with your brother.
Why would Piyush need to do all this? He's got a legitimate corporation to run. He doesn't need to be involved in all these criminal activities.
You should know that. He's your brother, remember?
Oh, this guy. You pretend to tell me everything, but actually you tell me nothing.
Then ask me questions for which I have the answers and I'll tell you.
All right. So why did he come here today? To kill me?
I told you, Mr. Prithvi, if I wanted to kill you, you would have been dead by now.
Dead. Like the guest house and the hospital.
Same thing applies there. If I wanted to kill you, all of you would have been dead. I'm a professional, remember?
Professional. You weren't very professional that day when I was chasing you. Remember, you have a score of 0 out of 5.
My job was never to kill you, only to get all of you together at the guest house.
I see. And the gunshot and the fireplace, that was just part of the party, I guess.
It wasn't my doing.
And whose was it? Santa Claus?
You mean you haven't figured that out till now? Didn't you receive the memento sent by his brother?
David Parker? He was the one at the guest house?
He was not supposed to be there, but he was there, and he was trying to do things that he didn't know how to. I told you, if I had planted the bomb, all of you would have died that day. And if I had shot Aakash Bhandarkar, he would have been dead that night.
Why would David Parker do that?
Why would David Parker attack you?
Yes.
Why don't you ask him yourself?
Say hello to the brother.